Sonic Racing Crossworlds has recently released to glowing reception. Everyone seems to love this little kart racer, even non-Sonic fans. Tons of news outlets sing the praises of it. IGN even gave it the second 9 in a row. I just hope it becomes 3 in a row when the next mainline games drops. That'd be insane. But let's not kid ourselves. You've read the title, you know what we're here for. Today I'm going to be ranking every track from Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Now before we start, let's clarify some things. Number 1, these rankings are my opinions. If you have differing ones, that's fine. But control yourselves, please, in the comments if you see a track you just can't fucking stand in the top 5. These rankings are also pretty arbitrary. There's no real criteria for what makes a track amazing or bad. A lot of these could be swapped with one another, so these rankings aren't like ridiculously set in stone. They may change on the fly. You may also catch me online choosing a track that I put at the bottom over the one in first. Most of these tracks are pretty alright, so even the last pick is decent. And lastly, I will not be ranking the Crossworlds in this video. The reasoning being, I simply need more time with them as I've gotten fucking Magma Cave 20 times, but Sweet Mountain like twice. If this video does well, however, I'll definitely make a video dedicated to them specifically. Okay, we good? If you enjoy the video, you know what to do. I don't have to give you the spiel. Now let's start with the worst track in the game. Number 24. I'm not sure how much of a hot take this is. I've only heard good opinions, but me personally, I think the weakest stage in the game is Donpa Factory. It's a shame too, I was actually really excited for the stage when it was announced, but after playing it a couple of times, it just doesn't really hit. Now, I don't think this track is bad, per se. Let that sit in, because that means I don't think any of these tracks are bad. However, the reason I put Donpa Factory in last was simply because there's not enough. Nothing really stands out to me about this track. It's got a very simple layout with obstacles that can be very easily avoided, and a third lap gimmick that should have been in every lap. In the third lap, there's a reverse treadmill of sorts that makes you go faster when on it, and this lasts throughout most of the track. However, it's only in lap 3. Had it been in every lap, I think it could have jumped up a spot or two, but alas, as is, it's kind of a nothing burger. Number 23. Metal Harbor. Donpa Factory was the only stage I consider close to bad. Metal Harbor I just consider good. That says something about the game's quality. Metal Harbor is a decent little track, but it's ultimately pretty forgettable in my eyes. I like the big ramp on track 3, I always love an excuse to trick, and I like the shortcut even though I've only pulled it off like once. However, there are simply way better tracks in this game, and so it's down here. Number 22, Market Street. This is probably the track in the game I have the absolute least to say about. It's a decent track, but there's nothing really unique about it. Nothing really stands out here, but despite that, it's still decent. Number 21, E-Stadium. For being what is essentially the Mario Kart Stadium of Crossworlds, it's surprisingly fun. It's a good introduction to the basic driving, drifts, and the trick system and the rest of the basics. It's a really engaging track for what it is, with really simple shortcuts that, despite their simplicity, this shit gets me hard. During the open beta, well, I mean, before the open beta when you could get access to the first 3 tracks, I never really got bored of it, even with its simple nature. It's fun, really nice track. Number 20, White Space. It's a pretty alright track. I like the one skip you can do around Chaos Island, and having the third lap be the Doom Zone is a really nice touch. Despite this, I think they could have maybe done a little more. It's a little bland layout-wise, but it's still pretty fun. I thought the coolest part, honestly, was just seeing some of the tracks from White Space actually be there. You drive through the hub areas of Space Colony Arc and Chaos Island. That's pretty cool. Number 19, Apatos. Apatos is a pretty nice track. It's got constant turns, and so it's pretty engaging. I especially like the big drift near the end. It's got some decent shortcuts, but most of these rankings take into account both offline and online play, but this one, you guys know. We can't talk about Apatos without talking about the corridor. This is where boys become men. Because it's so early into the match, everyone is going to be crammed into this little corridor, and I'm sure I don't need to explain what that results in. I think it's fun, to be honest, but I can't lie. I think the era of the corridor chaos peaked in the open beta. With everyone picking Instant Monster Truck as one of their gadgets, the corridor went through hell. I don't see much of that now, which is kind of sad because it was a part of the stage that was really iconic, and I thought it was really fun. And while it still is, you just had to be there. Number 18, Sand Road. Sand Road is a track where I actually don't have much to say. I actually think it's one of the more simple tracks. However, the simple layout works really well here, if that makes sense. It's a good, solid, simple track. But don't think it doesn't have any cool bits. The shortcut near the start, orgasmic, it's so fun. I don't even think it's very practical. It might be slower. It might be slower, but I don't care. Also, we've got this little open dune area with the bumps so you can hit a trick a lot. Also, really fun. But the third lap variation kind of pisses me off. This water section is... it's nothing. But yeah, not much more to say. Number 17, Rainbow Garden. I'm a decent fan of Rainbow Garden. It's got some fun but simple shortcuts, a nice introduction to flying with a short but sweet flying section, and the stretch right after it is really solid. Definitely the standout section of this track. It has a good flow, the drifts are a decent challenge. They're not super hard, but you can easily mess them up, it's great. The bit where you do some tricks on the descending rows of flower beds is also really fun. Good track. Number 16, Eggman Expo. The track layout, obviously, is pretty good, but the theming is so incredible. An expo dedicated specifically to Eggman's creations is such a stellar idea, and I'd say they do it pretty well. The song for this track is also really good as well. A standout in the OST in my eyes. My one critique though, I kinda wish they did a little more. This is an Eggman Expo, I want the works. There's not a ton of cool or interesting robots here. There's the Egg Pawns, the Unleashed robots, and the Death Egg robot and Egg Dragoon, but that's, like, mostly it. I kinda wanted more variety and some cool references. We're not above those, I can take them. For a stage called Eggman Expo, I was hoping for just a bit more. However, that doesn't take away from the fact that Eggman Expo is still a solid and a half track. Number 15, North Star Islands. I was really excited for this track when I saw it, as I thought the concept of a Superstars Melody track was a really cool idea, and yeah, they executed it pretty well. A compilation of some of the game's stages condensed down. All the stages were represented pretty well, especially with how condensed they were. I really like the press factory thing that shoots you up into the air when it drops. Funny enough, I also think it's my biggest critique. I kinda wish the frequency of each drop was a little higher. You really only get like one or maybe two, and it's like, okay. I also think it's funny how scarily close to Superstars this actually looks. It doesn't look like you ripped Superstars assets and put them in Crossworlds. It looks like you ripped Crossworlds gameplay and put it in Superstars. I don't know how they did it. That's scary. Number 14, Water Palace. Biggest critique out of the way, this shit is not Water Palace. You can tell me it is all you want, but this is not that. I'm sorry. Maybe if you included the most iconic part about it, the fucking song, I'd be reconsidering. Anyways, Fraud Palace is a pretty damn clean track. It's the most complex out of the first cup, and because of that, we get to see a little more from the track design. There's some good drifts, sharp turns, and a decent introductory water section. Also, this one bit at the end is one of the most iconic shortcuts in the game to me. It is so fun, which makes failing it when you don't have a boost wisp at the helm feel like 2911s. Number 13, Crystal Mine. One of the game's original locales, and I gotta say, I'm a pretty big fan. There's some good shortcuts in here that have some nice good challenge to them, and the drifts you'll be taking to get a good run actually ask a little bit from you. This makes a good run of the stage feel really satisfying. While I don't think the visuals of this game are amazing, and while I don't think the visuals of this stage are incredible, I still do really admire the scenery here. It looks really nice. Number 12, Radical Highway. Good old Radical Highway is back, and it's pretty solid. There's a lot of bits from the original zone recreated here, and it's done pretty well. Most notably are these little double loops here, pretty cool. Aside from that, there's some pretty cool set pieces that make Radical Highway stand out. The row of springs near the starts that have you trick a bunch is really fun. Any track that lets me do a bunch of tricks is automatically raised the number grade. This is no exception. The other notable part of this track is the Golden Gate Bridge skip, and oh my god. Oh my goodness. It's euphoric. Really good stage, although I hope we never see it again. Nothing personal, Radical Highway. It's Sonic Team's fault, not yours. Number 11, Chow Park. The theming on this stage is really nice. The idea of a racetrack taking place in one is really cool. It's why I was so let down when Mario Kart 8 had one, and it's kinda shit. It didn't really take use of the locale, where Chow Park does, and it does it quite well. Empty coasters as obstacles, going through an actual water coaster, and of course the environment around you blending in nicely with the track design. This also marks one of the notable stages that include one of my favorite things about this game, not accelerating. You see, it's common knowledge for non-kart racers to do this apparently, but I've barely played any, so I think it's really cool that this game almost forces you at points to take your hand off of the acceleration. If you make certain turns while drifting with your foot on the pedal, you will bump into walls and sometimes fall off. This stage is one that pretty much requires you to take your foot off the pedal or you'll soar off course. You'll see this brought up in the future, but I love stages that greatly benefit from taking your foot off the pedal. Number 10, Mystic Jungle. This is one of the more challenging stages due to some harder turns without any walls to prevent you from falling off, and most notably these bits reminiscent of Aqua Road that work sorta similarly to ice physics, and I gotta say, I love them. It's crazy, it's a little difficult, but when you conquer these turns, it is sexy. Really good track. Number 9, Urban Canyon. This is the point of the ranking where we get to the stages I flat out love. As I'm recording this, I think I honestly made the mistake of putting Urban Canyon maybe a little too low. This track could be in number 9, but it also could be in number 5, cause damn, Urban Canyon decides, fuck it, let's just do drifts for 2 minutes. The whole track is exclusively big drifts. Repetitive? Sure, but when you have a drifting system as good as this, repetition is exactly what I want. Drift after drift after- wait! Gliding section. Now back to drifting. It's non-stop drifting, which is really fun, and there's some shortcuts on lap 3 you can do as well to cut some of these drifts. It's amazing. Because of the aforementioned foot off the pedal tactic, the drifting isn't brain dead. It's something that you need to be fully engaged with if you want to nail them. Because of this, Urban Canyon is nothing short of a treat. I love it. Number 8, Blizzard Valley. I had a really hard time deciding on whether I like this or Urban Canyon more, and I think I'm very conflicted even now, but for the sake of not overthinking, I'm gonna just put Blizzard Valley here. Hey, as I'm recording this, I think Urban Canyon's better, but this it doesn't matter. Really amazing stage we've got with the ice physics that make me happy? What the what's going on? Now, your first run of Blizzard Valley is going to be tragic, let's not get it twisted, but on that first run, I called it that once you got used to them, it would transform the stage. Glad to report that I was absolutely right, and not only is this stage incredible is a really hard line to say fast. And not only is this stage incredible, but getting a grip on the ice physics wasn't even that hard. This game just controls that well. The stage layout is great, obviously, although most of my enjoyment actually comes from the ice physics, which is surprising, but welcome. The layout complements these physics very well. Also, the third lap has this really cool change where a cave from the first lap you drove on collapses here, being replaced with a gliding section. You can even see the collapsed debris under you. It's really striking. I love it. Number 7. Coral Cave. This is one of the most open tracks of the game with tons of different routes. Now, they aren't just different routes to be cute. Each route actually has seemingly their own pros and cons with completely different layouts per route, making it a really refreshing stage to play, as there's several ways to tackle it. We've got a short and sweet glider section, and this part near the end taking place on these big mushroom-looking things, which are really fun to stay on, especially in lap 3 when one of them has a shortcut portal on it. Good stage. Number 6, Pumpkin Mansion. I'm surprised this one is good as it is, but it just so happens this stage brings in a lot of unique ideas and actually executes all of them really well. This one bit where you drop down always fucks me up, but it's really fun when you use your brain and remember, there's a drop. The part that follows it is also really cool. You drive on an invisible road, the only thing indicating you're on it being these flames on the sides. It's a really fun and unique gimmick that challenges your reaction times. I love it. It's really cool. Honestly, that bit is a standout in the entire game, to be honest. And then this pumpkin path thing is also really neat. There's 2 pumpkins, but only one of them will disappear, but it only does so when you get a little close to it, meaning you need to be ready to turn either direction, and I really love it. Number 5, Ocean View. Despite it being so high, there's not a ton I have to say about this track, as it's actually a more basic one. However, it's an extremely fun basic track. Smooth turns, fun skips. I don't even think I've gotten the one at the start yet because I keep forgetting it, but I know it'll feel amazing when I do. It's also got another shortcut that requires you to take your foot off the pedal, and yeah, of course, it feels fucking incredible. I love it. One of the most fun shortcuts in the game. Also, this final lap song. It may sound a little cheap, a common complaint I have with the OST, despite really liking it, but man! A new remix of Supersonic Racing followed by You Can Do Anything on a seaside hill track. I have no idea why they thought of doing this, but it's so good! Easily my favorite final lap song in the game. Not even because they're remixes of cool songs. No, they just sound really good. Amazing track with an amazing song. Number 4. Wonder Museum. Another stage where I actually don't have too much to say. The drifts are really nice, the layout's amazing. I love the obstacles present in this stage, they're really fun to avoid. That's one thing I love about this game as a whole, actually, its usage of obstacles. Usually, obstacles at kart racers, they aren't the most fun. They're annoying, break the pace, all of that, but here, the obstacles in Crossworlds are easy to see and most importantly, fun to avoid. Wonder Museum is no different. On the third lap, these dinosaurs come to life, not in the museum style, blocking part of the track momentarily. These weird statues shoot beams around themselves, cars start driving in one section, it's incredible. Wonder Museum is amazing, there's no wonder it's top 4. And now we reach the top 3, what I consider to be the best stages of Crossworld. These were hard to arrange, as were the others, because to be honest, all of these stages are pretty solid. Every track in this game is enjoyable. Even the worst one on this list, Donpa Factory, I still think is genuinely fun. I get it online sometimes and I don't roll my eyes. I'm like, okay. I don't think I'd complain when getting any of these tracks online because really, the track designers knew what they were doing, and that's going to be extremely evident with these final 3 tracks. Number 3. Kronos Island. The first track on the Secret Cup and easily the best as well. I wasn't too excited for this track when it was announced, mainly because of how do I put, fucking dog shit the visuals were. However, visuals be damned, this is a good track. It's a little more challenging with the hazards in the level being cranked up and asking a little more of the player. There's a part of the track where you hop onto Squid and follow his trail just like in actual Frontiers, and it's really fun. Staying on Squid is actually really satisfying as you're given some decently tight turns with no guardrails, meaning if you aren't drifting well, you will fall off. There's some parts of the track that are actually a little more open, I assume attempting to imitate the game the track is from, and it's pretty cool. And last thing to mention, while there aren't many at all lap 3 variations, probably my only complaint with the stage by the way, there is one and it's pretty cool. In one of the last areas, Asura will slam down their fist, spawning in a bunch of these blue speed rings for you to drive into. It's good fun. Also, love the third lap remix of I'm Here, just thought I'd put it out there. Number 2. It was really hard to decide whether I wanted this in number 2 or number 1. And it's still hard to decide, like, guys, I don't know. This could be number 1. It's pretty much tied for number 1. But, number 2, Colorful Mall. Colorful Mall is such a fun stage that contains plenty of fun drifts, turns. There's tons of different paths and shortcuts to be taken. A good run of this track is one of the most satisfying things ever due to both reasons I listed beforehand, but also the constant engagement you're going to have with this stage. There is no downtime in this stage. You're going to be constantly drifting and turning, nailing shortcuts, all that. This makes it a really amazing stage. Also, the music absolutely slaps. Probably my favorite song in the entire OST. It's absolutely incredible. And finally, number 1. Don't take this too seriously, as in all honesty, I feel like most of these track placements are interchangeable. However, at the moment, my favorite track from Sonic Racing Crossworlds is Aqua Forest. A bit surprising, I haven't really seen any people talk about this stage like I think it deserves to be talked about. The main reason I'm giving this track number 1 is because it has some of the most fun shortcuts in the entire game. Not even necessarily the most difficult or challenging shortcuts, just the most fun. Near the start, if you steer correctly, you can take a quick shortcut around this area. That's really fun to pull off. There's 2 segments where you can use a dash ring to take some shortcuts, something pretty rarely seen in this game. I love dash rings as shortcuts in this game. I wish they were used a little more. Whether these shortcuts take place on water, meaning you're gonna have to jump for them, and it's just so fun to do. Not to mention, this track gives you a couple of instances to do some nice corner cutting and actual shortcuts by using boost capsules. And finally, the music of this track is really good. The highlight for me easily being this vocal bit during the chorus, and there's something about it, man. I can't really put into words what it is about these vocals I adore so much. They sound grand, intense, all while retaining the high energy feel a game like this should have. I love it. Well, there you have it. Every track from Sonic Racing Crossworlds ranked. I've said it before and I'll say it again, most of these rankings are very arbitrary. This is a game where you could put one of my least favorite tracks as your personal favorite, and I feel like I could really easily understand why. All of these tracks are kind of amazing, to be honest. Even the weakest ones offer a fun time. If this video does well, I'll probably rank all the Crossworlds, so if you want to see that happen, like, comment, you get the you get it. If you want to go the extra mile in supporting me, becoming a patron for as low as $2.50 a month does a lot more than you think. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.